Aloha and welcome to Mystic Wisdom Dialogues, episode 2. Well, blessings on your life when you get to seeing this in the replay. I'm excited to be here on Sundays. I'm here, and I'm here for us. Yeah, as a collective, awakening in this dream. Sometimes it's a pretty gnarly dream, I might say. Like this whole idea of this podcast, I'm dreaming into being, um, and all the difficulties that it takes to coordinate all the technical stuff. It's just a dream. That's why I'm laughing. Nevertheless, I want to continue our dialogue where we started last week about the correlations between um, Kahuna Science, Ho'oponopono, and A Course in Miracles, ACIM. Yeah, I think a lot on these things because I find that they are the same technology, technology being what works, the science of what works, to forgive the world, to forgive our humanness, to forgive our past, to forgive our future. Because whenever we invest in those things with our egoic mind, it takes us off track. It takes us out of the moment, out of being ourselves in the moment. And that's the only place we're going to find peace. And you know that. Yeah, I don't have to tell you that, but you know that. But how much practice do we get on a daily level of being in just the moment, not being guided or worried about our past or our future? It's tough. We're not wired this way. Yeah. So, wow. How do we do this? Well, once upon a time, I read a book on Ho'oponopono, and it inspired me so much, the story about Dr. Hugh Lin in that hospital in Honolulu, that I thought I would try it and take it for a test drive. And I did. And I was really happy with the results. And that's the reason I'm showing up for these meetings. And because I want to open this for everybody. I want people to understand or even get a glimpse of how a miracle is created in your relationships using the Ho'oponopono technology. Um, yeah, there are some protocols in there that help us, help guide us into the process. And one of them is, I don't have a clue what's going on. Think about that for a moment. We think we know everything that's going on. Why? Because we're reading the data from the past of our experience. And everything we see is the past. It's a correlation of memories from the past. No matter where you look in what direction, if you let your mind just go, it's going to give you data on what you see, um, determined by past experience. That's just the nature of our mind. Okay, well, what Dr. Hugh Lin showed us through Mona Simeona, who is the matriarch of self-ID, Ho'oponopono, he learned it from her. I learned it from him. Is that we really don't have a clue what's going on. And so how can we judge it? How can we judge it from our limited experience of the past? It's a good question because what is the past? It doesn't even exist. And yet we make all our assumptions about life and about each other guided by the past, and it doesn't even exist. Boy, that's a load off when you think about it. So, how do we view the present moment? How do we view our relationships? How do we get out of this loop of judging everything and everyone from our past experience? Well, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of discipline, a lot of reprogramming of our minds to be in the moment, to see things differently, as they say in ACIM. I want to see things differently. I want to feel things differently. Yeah. And that's the first step is that your will to want to see someone or something different. Because when you change what's going on in here about someone or something, um, what you see changes. It's fantastic. Try it. What you're thinking about someone or even about yourself. Yeah. When you change that, what you see and feel about what is out here will change as well. Yeah. And I think Wayne Dyer was the one who really drove that into the consciousness of humanity pretty strong. But nevertheless, that tells us that it's all an inside job. All of our feelings and thoughts, they're generated from past experience. Data. Yeah. So if we want to forgive that piece right there, we want to forgive what we're thinking. If we choose to forgive what we see, then we are owning our reality and our experience of life has a major shift. Yeah. Yeah. And the drama looks totally different after that, completely. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not really sure if this recording is going where it should go, but at least we'll have the replay. Yeah, I'm not very technically inclined, and this is it's a real challenge for me without my tech on board. But nevertheless, here I am. I'm showing up Sunday mornings. I guess it's afternoon, evening for some of you guys. But yeah, I hope you can all get into this meeting. And if not, I'll see you next week because I'm going to have a tech on board. That's for sure. All right. So continue our dialogue with how to create miracles. A lot of it coming from this book that I'm studying again. I began studying it in 1997, and I couldn't really get through it. My ego was totally resistant on some of the reprogramming that needs to be done. But now, at this vintage in my life, man, I am more than ready to experience miracles every day, which are already happening. It's a matter of moving things out of the way that are in my thinking to receive the miracle that's already in place. Because as I said last week, nothing was held back from this amazing planet that we live on. When we're feeling balanced and in the moment and we're viewing life on its own terms, heaven appears to our vision. Yes, it's just amazing. And just a gentle trade wind or a bird chirp or a stream babbling can just ripple right through us like love itself. And wouldn't it be nice to live life that way all the time? Yeah. Well, I'm going there. I am. I'm on my way, and you're welcome to come with me. So, what is a miracle? A miracle is simply life manifest in a way that is an absolute blessing here for us to drink, to eat, to see. And in order for that miracle to appear, they say in the teachings that forgiveness is the first step. And what are we forgiving? Everything that's in the way of the miracle, everything that's in the way of seeing ourselves as a holy being, a child of Creator that is here to prosper and thrive in every moment, health, wealth, and happiness. The Course is very clear that God's will for us is perfect happiness. Yes, and the ego, it really doesn't like that idea because its job is to keep us suffering, to keep us in negative thinking about ourselves and judging others. Its job is to keep the drama flowing in a healthy way so that we have to be right and we have to even create war on the planet that we want to be so right, or even conflict in our relationships and we have to be right. Perhaps we weren't feeling respected or honored in what someone said, you know. Well, the ego would have a heyday with that because we would want to return that disrespect and dishonor to the person that issued it to us. Whereas the Course in Miracles and Ho'oponopono would have another way of responding to that altogether. And that would be to forgive my view that they actually offended me. Because who I truly am as light in a body, love in a body, cannot be offended. Breathe that in. And that's why we call this mystic wisdom dialogues. All the mystics that and the masters that came to earth were teaching what I'm sharing with you. And as I'm learning it, um, it helps to share it. That's the best way to learn anything, is to share it. So I'm sharing what I understand this is about and the view that is inspiring to me and mandatory to both systems, Ho'oponopono and ACIM, is to view ourselves from our angelic self, from our higher self, from the part of us that is not a body. Now that's a trick. Because the ego would have us believe wholeheartedly that we are indeed a body. Well, what these other systems are saying, and what I'm coming to realize in my own experience, is that I, who I truly am, is in a body. I, who truly am, is everywhere. I, who truly am, as light, is the universe. It's everything, all energy that, you know, we experience through our physical body. That's who we are. That's who I am. And that resonates to our immortality, the part of us that who we were before coming into a body and who we are when we leave the body is this soul, this ray of light from the one sun of creation, of creator. So we are that as well while we're in the body. And this is an amazing experience to experience life through the senses as the love I am, as the light that I am, as the being I am in this body. So that's the point of view that these systems forgive from. The smaller self is constantly in forgiveness for not being able to hold that point of view, and instead judging myself and judging others all the time, constantly, ongoing. It's involuntary. And I witness this, and wow, it's all the time. everything I see, everyone I see has an instant judgment. So meditation, going vertical and connecting with my higher self, pulling that awareness of my higher self, of my immortality into this human experience is what's working for me. So I'm practicing viewing life from the body, within the body, viewing it outside the body as and from my higher self, my angelic self, my innocent self. That's a big one because ego's job is to perpetuate guilt and shame for everything we've done, everything we've said. Most of the most of the religions in the world promote guilt and uh, and repentance, whereas the systems that I'm studying, they do not. They actually bring us the idea that we can't do anything wrong and we've never done anything wrong because we're dreaming this physical existence. And when you wake up from a dream, you realize what was in the dream is unimportant. In fact, it really did not exist. So that's what happens when we die physically. We realize that this was a dream as we wake up into our being, which is pure light, pure love, and one with our Father, Mother, God. Well, that opportunity exists for us right now. Yeah, to be one with our Father, Mother, God as a child of Creator, creation, innocent and free, to frolic and play and dance and sing and chant and love everything we experience here in this world. Think about that. Breathe it in. Join me in breathing in your true self. I once had a kahuna speak to the fact that um, the crystal, the crystal is the most like the human form because it's always growing and refracting light. Yeah. So that's really our job here to take in light and share it, spread it around the world. And because we're not wired to do that, that's where forgiveness comes in. And to forgive ourselves for falling short, judging ourselves and others constantly, ongoing. And there's nothing wrong with that. See, that's the thing in the new systems. They're not saying that anything we're doing human wise is wrong. Whoa, how could it be wrong? We're doing it. Yeah, and you look, at, things like war, yeah, wrong, yeah. From another point of view, right, this being a dream, I mean, aren't there monsters in the dream quite often? In some of the things we hold underneath in our subconscious, they tend to rise up in the dream and raise their gnarly self. And it can be pretty frightening, actually, just like war and divorce or whatever negative, thing you can think about on the planet. There are so many, right? Yet, when viewed from our higher self, when viewed from the idea that this is a dream, everything needs love. That is what affects everything. And you know that. Your heart hears that and knows it's true. Everything that seems wrong needs my love. Yeah. Breathe that in. It doesn't need our judgment. It needs our love. Wow. So when someone triggers me, that's right. It happens. We all get triggered. My first response is, oh, wow, to diminish myself that I've been wrong in some way and someone else is hurt. Okay, well, let's look at that. Because what I'm doing at that point is looking at my programming, observing the pattern of hurt that I just experienced from what felt like an attack. And I close my eyes and I look at that pattern and I allow it to be. I allow it to be part of me. I accept that pattern of being hurt by being triggered. And instead of reacting to the person and just blowing their head off, I absorb that into my love, that pattern of feeling triggered. And then I see the other person differently. I can see how it was perhaps their hurt that caused them to lash out at me. I can see how perhaps it was um, I'm the object of their dream, right? And all that I need to do is forgive myself of viewing them as less than perfect and innocent as an attacker. Now, this is really the advanced work, and you guys know this, but I'm sure you can feel it. So these things I want you to practice. And I'm not sure if I hooked this all up correctly. So I'm going to cut this meeting a little bit short today because I think I've given you a lot of advanced technology already to practice and to be a part of you in your life. But most of all, I see that this whole forgiveness process is like a prayer. My life has become a prayer to see things differently, to allow what's in the field to be itself without my judgment, without my condemnation, um, and observing my patterning and my programming of how to react to it, and holding that sacred and breathing love into that pattern and letting it go and seeing the other person as innocent. Yeah. So try it. I think you'll really like it. It works. Forgiveness technology. Technology is the science of what works. And if you want more peace in your life, if you want more joy in your life, if you want more abundance in your life, you want more flow of love in your life, you will take these concepts and you'll practice them. You don't have a clue what's going on, and we can heal everything that's in front of us through our attentive, compassionate engagement. Well, God bless you. And I hope to see you next week. And I will have a tech on board next week. And this will work a lot better. So wherever you are in the world, wow, my love and my appreciation flows out to you with a blessing. Keakua. Aumakua mai ka poaiola. Ho ikea mai ikea. A mama ua noa. Lele vale akua. Kepa. I'll see you next week. Ahui ho.